Hello, my name is Louise, and in this video I'll be showing you how I made some ambient lighting for my apartment. I typically make wearable projects, but I do like to dabble in other aspects of design, like lighting and home stuff, so I'll throw in a project or two here and there. I'll be walking you through how I made this table lamp and also how I upgraded my vanity in my bedroom. Starting off with the table lamp, I found this beautiful object at the Oakland Vintage Market, and I immediately knew I wanted to upcycle it into a light. Talking with the seller, he told me about the designer of this magazine rack, Richard Gallief, who used perforated sheet in a lot of his designs, from magazine racks like this to trays and fruit baskets, ashtrays, etc. I was initially drawn to the perforations because I thought putting a light inside and having light shine through would give it this disco ball effect, but testing it out didn't really give me any discrete light spots that I was hoping for. So I rethought what I could use this for and decided to make a diffuse light source filling the main volume. I'm going to put a light in the center and make a box covered with a translucent fabric. I have an extra hue bulb and socket, so I'm going to design and print a mount out for the items that I have. I'm also going to cut the cord to snake it through one of the holes and out the bottom. For the fabric box, I wanted to create an internal structure to wrap fabric around. I'm also really particular about not having any fasteners showing or any seams visible. After putting this first assembly together, there are a few tweaks that I need to make. The light print itself works really well. The internal box structure ended up being a little short, about a ½ inch too short. The gap is really not that bad, but I'm going to adjust it to get a tighter fit in the next version. The biggest issue I'm running into is that the end caps for the fabric box aren't fitting very well. I designed the end panels to be a press fit into the box, but I'm running into an issue with the dowels not being the exact length, and the stack up is just not allowing it to be a good press fit. I'm going to redesign the press fit interface so that it's two plastic parts fitting into each other. So I'm going to update this design and try again. I've assembled this again with the new 3D printed parts, and it fixed the press fit issues of the cover and also the height within the box. The next step is to cover the internal structure with a fabric. I have a nice natural colored linen that I'll be using for the cover. I chose the tan linen because I think the natural look is going to contrast and complement the black matte finish of the magazine holder. I cut one large rectangle of fabric that will cover the body of the structure minus the covers. I stretched the fabric tightly over the structure, holding it in place with clips temporarily, then going back in with a stapler to secure the fabric to the wooden dowels. I also conveniently realized that I could staple to the plastic parts as well, which helped with keeping the fabric tight. I left the bottom fabric unfinished because I was going to come back to it during the wiring. I cut fabric for the covers and attach it the same way. For the inner box, the fabric couldn't completely cover everything and enclose it. There needed to be a way to fasten the light and also snake out the electrical cord. I designed vinyl cutouts, and using my Cricut machine, I cut them out to the exact size I needed. I cut part of the fabric out and attached a vinyl sticker to each side to seal the edges that I cut and create a pass-through for both the fasteners and the light cord. I then attached and finished the fabric around the pass-throughs. For wiring the light, I really wanted the wire to be as discreet as possible. And for me, the only option would be to have it snaking out the bottom. Since the cord already had the wall plug attached, I needed to cut the wire near the bulb, feed it through one of the bottom perforations, through the vinyl hole, and resolder the cord together. After wiring, all I had to do was put the front cover back on and plug it into the wall to have a finished light. Moving on to the vanity lighting, I bought this amazing vanity off Facebook Marketplace, and I wanted to do an updated version of those like large round vanity lights. I don't need the task lighting that those provided, so I went for a backlit diffused light. The first thing I did was put my Philips Hue light strip on the edge of the mirror to get a sense of the design, and I definitely was going in the right direction. But the one thing I hate more than anything in lighting design is being able to see the individual points of LEDs. Ugh. My plan was to offset the light strip and use a material a few inches away to diffuse the point. I had extra window privacy film laying around that I tested out, and I figured out how far away from the lights it needed to be. To help visualize where everything needed to mount, I made a 3D model. Not only did the lights need to be offset from the edge for diffusion, they also needed to be at a smaller radius so that the light was even around the entire edge. There wouldn't be any gaps at the ends. I printed the first mounts and installed them with double-sided adhesive, then attached the film along the edge of the mirror. And this worked pretty well, but I found that the film flopped over and looked pretty sloppy. It did diffuse the light, but it looked really terrible. Even though it was behind the vanity and only I would see it, it just really bothered me. So I went over to my favorite online retailer, McMaster, to get the strip of plastic I needed, and this ended up being much stiffer. While improving the diffusion, I also decided to improve the mounts as well. Instead of attaching them with adhesive, I got screws to secure the mounts into the wood backing. I then installed the diffused plastic strip with 3M adhesive along the edge of the mirror. There's an edge that I was able to use to mount, and it was perfect. And the light looks amazing. The light is so soft and diffused against the wall and looks so modern. Oh, I'm in love. Okay, before I let you go, I have a few more quick lighting things for you. I bought this amazing lamp and shade set, but I didn't have a shade stand, so I designed and printed one. If you're ever in need of one, I have this design uploaded in my Thingiverse, and you can download and print it for yourself. Second, I wanted a little more light in my living room area, and I had this extra light strip and curtain rod. I attached the lights to the rod and initially had it vertical and pointed at the wall, but leaning it over created a little bit more interest. I'll be leaving this here for now, but I want to find a better way to integrate this light strip into something other than a curtain rod. Okay, that's it. Let me know if you're interested in seeing more of these types of projects and not just wearable clothing by leaving a like and subscribing below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!